It's Edgar Street, Hereford's Peter Beadle. What a fantastic day! How was it for you?
Yeah, it was just as good. It became a little bit tedious in the second half. Well, not tedious. I think frustrating in the second half because obviously they got the goal back and then the game sort of died a death a little bit. It's not, which is understandable. I mean, they've had an unbelievable programme in the last sort of 2 weeks, and obviously we've had, maybe not as physical, but certainly mentally, a tough programme over the last couple of weeks. So, and obviously it was scorching hot out there, and so you couldn't blame the players for coming off the pace a little bit. But we had a fantastic start, brilliant first 15-20 minutes, and then after that it is excuse me, it is difficult to maintain that sometimes, you know, especially with the euphoria of going 3 goals up against a team that are a very good side. You know, so it was difficult to keep it going. Then it got a little bit disjointed towards the end of the half, and then we spoke at half time about trying to maintain a little bit of possession, keep that ball a little bit longer. If we could see out the next sort of 10 minutes of the second half, then I think that would be them done. As it wasn't to be, which we didn't expect them to give up. They came out and had a go, got a goal. So again, the players were fantastic in the way they regrouped and obviously went up the other end and got another one towards the end and sort of saw out the game a little bit. And it was a little bit bitty and at times, but like I said, sometimes it goes like that, and we're just happy we've picked up another 3 points, and that tally's getting ever bigger.
How did you inspire them, the players, to come out? You absolutely ripped Kettering to shreds inside 15 minutes. What did you say to them?
I threatened them. No, we talked about last year, and we won it with 6 games to go last year. And I think that the mentality of the players was, it's done now, foot off the pedal, and we, you know, and again, no disrespect to Wantage, but we struggled to beat them, and we managed it in the end, but it was a struggle. I said, and these are no Wantage. These are a decent side. They're up there. They've had a tough programme, but they're still going to come here and they're not going to lay down. And we didn't want to have that sort of feeling of like, oh, we've won it now, and then we've had the last game at home and it sort of faded out a little bit. So, but like I said, the credit goes to the players. As we said, we motivate and we try and inspire and we try and get them ready. But they started ever so well, and like I said, it was a perfect start. You couldn't have asked for any more.
What about the crowd reaction as well? I mean, I think it's the largest league gate certainly since Hereford FC was formed rather.
Yeah, listen, we just love to play in front of that number every week. You know, at home, well, of course we would. You know, this is a thriving city now. There's lots of development going on. This football club has become again the heartbeat of the city, and it's an important part of the city. It really is, and it's a meeting point, a focal point. Obviously, and while things are good right now, we'd love to have 3,500, 4,000 every week, and not only that, but it's intimidating for other teams that come here and play as well. But I mean, it's hard to put into words what they do for you, because as we talked about a lot last year, the year before, you know, they are our 12th man. You know, they're awe-inspiring with how far they travel and the distances they cover and the games they come to and how much they support the players. I think that Basingstoke was a little bit of a reality check after the game, and I think obviously there were a handful of supporters who were extremely disappointed with the game, and they showed that. But I think that, you know, and I think that comes from a little bit of a reality check. Is, you know, no one's going to hand anything or gift anything to us. We do see the best of everybody every week, so it just goes to show how well this team, staff, players over the last 3 years has played, because we see the best of everybody every single week. So to win 3 titles, not promotions, but titles back to back, is a huge credit to me, my staff, my players, and all that they've achieved. Because like I said, we don't get easy games, and sometimes when we don't play well, we manage to show enough grit and determination to get through games. Basingstoke, we didn't quite show enough. That was disappointing, but it was the first time in a long time, probably since I've been here, as I said on the day, that was probably our worst performance all round, football-wise, effort, and you know, everything that went with it. But I just think sometimes that's going to happen, because that's football. That is football, and people need to understand that. And next year is going to be even harder again, because we're going up to what I would consider probably as close to a professional division as you're going to get. Whichever league we go in, it makes no difference. I think it's a league where certainly in the north there are half a dozen full-time teams. You know, so you're playing, obviously you're looking at the Conference South, Torquay are coming down, and from what I can gather, they're staying full-time. So, you know, Woking could be coming down, I think they're almost full-time, 3 days a week. So it's going to get even harder, and we're going to have to work even harder, and we will do. We'll roll up our sleeves and we'll work even harder, and we'll try and put a team out there that is capable of competing again.
I've got to ask you, you said things are almost destined to happen. What a fitting end for Rob Purdy in his last league game. Not only to play really well, but to get a header.
Well, I don't know about play really well. I think that's overdoing it a bit. So no, listen. Like I just said up there, he's been an integral part of this football club for many years now, and I think the last 3 years for him have been one where he's probably enjoyed it a lot more. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I know they enjoyed the promotion at Halifax, and I know he's involved in all of that. But I think this 3 years he's actually been able to relax a little bit. Enjoy his football and playing a team that, you know, the standards are very high here, and it's just fitting that, you know, he scores the winning goal that wins us the championship on Tuesday, and he scores on his last league day, his last league game at Edgar Street. So fate, I'm a big believer in fate, and I think that was destined to happen, and it was. Like I said, he took the penalty. We could have won by a couple more. It didn't turn out, so that goal won us the title. Rob Purdy scored that, and it would go down in the books that Rob Purdy scored the goal that won Hereford FC the title. And it's a fitting end to what has been a fantastic career with lots of highs and lows for him personally as well. Lots of bad times. You know, I know that we talk about it sometimes about how supportive the crowd are with him and Ryan, but obviously we know that he's had a few bad times when they haven't been so friendly towards him. But that's part and parcel of being a footballer. You take that. So, like I said, it's not sometimes all about being the most popular. It's about just doing the job and enjoying what you're doing. And he's certainly done that. And we'll miss him. We'll miss him next year, no doubt. When he's not there next year, we won't miss him in the change room because he talks drivel like. But he's he's a great character, and he's been a fantastic servant to this club and the old club. And I can only wish him well in his future and whatever he does in the future.
And finally, talking about the future, let's talk about your future. You're already talking about us next year, so it sounds like you're staying. Are you going to be full-time or part-time yourself? Unless
I'm told different, I'm looking to be here next season. Listen, like I said, obviously, you know, me and the staff are hugely ambitious, like the players are. That's why we come to a club like this, because this club's ambitious. And we want to be. We've got meetings this week with the board about next year's budget, and obviously we want it to be as competitive as it can be. Because
does that mean you'll have some full-time players?
No, I don't think we're at that stage yet. I don't think we're ready for that yet. I think that if we do well next year and we're there or thereabouts towards the end of the season, I think that it needs to be something that would be talked about and looked into. But at the moment, you know, I'm led to believe that we're not financially in that position yet to be a full-time football club. So, you know, and that's fine. Like I said, we've advanced a very long way in a very short space of time as a football club. We've come a long way. We're one promotion from being away from where we were 4 years ago when we folded as a club. Now that I don't think was ever on the menu. It was never something that was expected. I think even Martin mentioned it last week on Twitter that we were looking at 2 promotions in 3 years. We've won 3 titles in 3 years, so we're way ahead of schedule. And again, it's that sense of reality of that, you know, we might not win it next year. We'll be aiming to, and we'll be trying and working hard to, but there's also a lot of good sides in that league, either one, north or south.
Will it be harder for you if you are in the north to attract players?
Yeah, of course it will, yeah, because it's a different area. It's a different part of the country, and like I said, we'll be having to maybe look to move a little bit further north to recruit players, or you know, because and it depends on what the players here currently that we want to keep next year, what they decide to do. So you know, like I said, we know that Gloucester lost their goalie last year because they moved from the north to the south, and he was from the Midlands. So like I said, so he couldn't commit to the travelling, which is like I said, and that's part and parcel of being part time. The teams that are up there in the north, I think, to compete in that league, the likes of the Kidderminsters and the Stockports and the Yorks and Harrogate, Salford, they're all full time. So that goes to show that it does pay dividends in the end. But I don't think as a club, I'm not sure we're ready for that yet. I'm not sure financially we can do that yet.
Not even on a split basis, some full time.
If it becomes a split basis, it becomes disjointed, and then I think Basingstoke tried to do it. I think we speak to them, and they've got a fantastic young side, lots of young players there, and they were full time. But then they realised they had to sort of split it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You're either part time or full time, and I don't think you can't have a mixture, because then you've got 6 players training every day. It doesn't work. You can't do it like that. So we need to be one or the other. I think right now we'll probably stay part time for next year, whichever league we go in. But as I said, we're ongoing discussions with the board, who have been very supportive, and we'll wait and see what comes of it, next week.
Well, once again, and especially from me, congratulations on everything you've done.
Cheers, Keith.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank
Thanks,
you.
chaps.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would, but it's the wrong way round.
It's the wrong hand, yeah.